Join me with exploring amazing facts of geography which will capture your mind. Did you know, to start off with a true but funny fact? Eswatini, a landlocked African nation, prohibits witches from flying above 150 meters. Any witch caught flying their broomsticks above this limit faces arrest and a $30,000 fine. Flying below 150 meters is legal. The Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi's 2009 proposal to abolish Switzerland and divide it up along linguistic lines, giving parts of the country to Germany, France, and Italy, was rejected. Gaddafi may have been offended by his son Hannibal and his wife's arrest in Switzerland for beating their 2 hotel servants. United States of Central America existed briefly. Nicaragua, El Salvador, and Honduras formed the Greater Republic of Central America in 1896. After its constitution took effect on November 1, 1898, it was renamed the United States, but it was dissolved 28 days later when this guy took over El Salvador. Singapore's constitution requires the president to have 3 years of experience in a high-ranking government position or as chairman of the board or CEO of a $500 million plus company or important government company. Indian constitution is the world's longest at 145,000 words. Moldavia Mall City Park is in Park City, Utah. In 2021, Botswana had the highest GDP growth rate in sub-Saharan Africa at 12.93%, but it slowed to 4% this year. Global inflation, and worst of all, how it has affected the average person, in particular their investments, like the stock market, which is expected to flatline or lose 20%, depending on which major bank you ask. During historic times, Masterworks helped over 650,000 people adapt, paying out tens of millions in returns last year. Iceland once had McDonald's. The first McDonald's in Iceland opened in 1993, but it closed all its restaurants 16 years later due to rising import prices during the Great Recession. Iceland lost its McDonald's in 2009. Iceland's McDonald's last customer never ate the burger. Whether it decomposed was his curiosity. Southern Iceland's Snatra House hostel houses that burger. Andorra, with a population of only 80,000 people, has the most McDonald's per capita with 5. A letter to the UN in 2009 requested membership under the name Grilled Nation, which represented 60 million Kentucky grilled chicken buyers. The 193rd member country would have given free samples of grilled chicken across from the UN headquarters to promote Monday's in-store free chicken event. Earthquake diplomacy exists between Greece and Turkey. Despite their poor relations, both countries agreed to help each other in an earthquake after successive earthquakes in the summer of 1999. The tropics of Hawaii mean warm weather year-round, but blizzards can occur at higher elevations. In size, Alaska is larger than Texas, California, and Montana combined. There are 300 trillion invasive mussels in Lake Michigan, down from 480 trillion nearly 20 years ago. The Puerto Rico Trench on the Caribbean seacoast is the deepest trench in the Atlantic Sea. The 800-kilometer trench penetrates 8,376 meters, or 5.2 miles. The deepest point in the Atlantic Ocean is here. The Milwaukee Deep is its nickname. NASA claims that the Puerto Rico Trench is the biggest gravity anomaly on Earth due to its dense mass. Mauritius, the only African nation with a Hindu majority, has 48.5% Hindus. The Central Pangean Mountains on Pangaea, the Appalachian Mountains in the east, the Ashita Mountains in Arkansas and Oklahoma, and the Little Atlas Mountains of Morocco were once identical. A mountain range formed 340 million years ago and peaked at 295 million years ago. Its highest point was on par with the Himalayas. Being on the Ganges Delta and having many distributaries into the Bay of Bengal makes Bangladesh flood-prone. El Dorado appears on many 16th and 17th century maps as Manoa. From 1601 to 1603, a volcanic eruption starved 2 million Russians, nearly one-third of the population. Volcanic ash blocking the sun destroyed crops. The volcano was in Peru. Peru has the world's longest river, the Danube, crosses 10 countries. Hungary, Croatia, Serbia, Romania, Bulgaria, Moldova, and Ukraine. China's first national park opened in 1982. Most famous are the park's 3,000 hundreds-foot-tall vertical pillars. However, in 2010, the name was changed to Avatar Hallelujah Mountain after the highest-grossing film of all time, Avatar, used the pillar to inspire Pandora's floating mountains. The name change focused on attracting tourists to the national park. Ironically, China banned Avatar after 2 weeks in theaters and 2 weeks of being the highest-grossing film in China. National Park in China has world's longest glass bridge. Taklamakan Desert in China has the world's largest alluvial fan. Parts of the 56.6 km wide, 61.3 km long alluvial fan flow with Molka River water. The deadliest lake in the world is Lake Nyassa in Cameroon. The lake exploded on August 21, 1986, sending water 300 feet into the air. The surrounding gas was more deadly than the water. CO2 was released in 20 seconds at over 1.2 cubic kilometers. 1,746 people died in one night from this massive wave. Only discovered in 1991, Vietnam has the world's largest cave named Mountain River Cave. One section of the cave's roof collapsed, letting light form a rainforest.